Hey guys, today I wanted to go over a couple questions I'm receiving every day uh, based on various topics. So, one of the questions we're getting pretty much every day is uh, why do you use subcontractors? So, I went over this in a blog that I did, in a podcast that we did before. And I'll let you know right now, this is uh, totally different than my opinion of subcontractors a few years ago, and only because I was a little ignorant on the subject. So, independent contractors are other business people who have, legitimate businesses. They have their own insurance. If they have employees, they have workman's compensation. They're skilled at what they do. Why does that benefit us? Well, it enables us to do what we do best, and what we do best is manage the projects, communication, do the estimates, and do our marketing. So if on the other end of that we had all employees, trust me, and we've had up to 25 or 30 employees at one time, it's very difficult. You're not going to have 30 good painters. You're going to have a lot of training. You're going to have a lot of turnover. People are going to be coming and going. You're going to be chasing fires and putting fires out all day because you have inexperienced people on the job sites. So with subcontractors or independent contractors, we just work really, really hard to find the best ones. And we want relationships where they're just going to keep working with us, one job after the other. And they're not skipping around to company. So it makes things a lot easier for your projects. Why does it benefit you? Well, good quality. The communication is going to be great. They know what they're doing. They have a vested interest in doing this project correctly and doing it quickly and moving on to the next project. That's basically it. The only difference is the way they get paid at the end of the year. One gets a 1099 and the other one gets their tax form at the end of the year for all the taxes that we've taken out. We use a little bit of both, but mostly subcontractors now. It's been so much better. Quality has skyrocketed, and it frees up so much time on our end to do the other things that we like to do. A lot of other companies every day use subcontractors, and I can probably look out in the parking lot right now and see some. The cable companies you use. All the local cable companies will have both. They'll have employees and they'll have subcontractors. It's just impossible to find that many employees who know what they're doing. Lawn care companies, same thing. They're going to use subcontractors most of the time. Not all inclusive. There's going to be others that have their own things going on. They have employees. So the gas companies, the electric companies, if you look on the side of the trucks, you'll see the little magnet that pretty much tells you generally it's a subcontractor. Any commercial building that you've been in that's being built uses subcontractors. So you're going to work for a general contractor or a manager of that project, and they hire subcontractors down the line. So it's funny to me sometimes that people that question us using subcontractors use subcontractors in the businesses that they do. So it's a little questionable to me, but I just wanted to answer that right off the top of my head. Question number 2 is, your employees or painter showed up in an unlabeled car or their personal vehicle. Well, of course they have. I mean, I worked for 18 years with one of the biggest painting companies in New Jersey and used my truck the whole time. There were no company vehicles. It's just impossible for us to have company vehicles for everybody. We don't supply them. I don't expect it. The guys should be showing up at the job with their own vehicles. They're responsible for going back and forth. If we had to pay everybody to have a company vehicle and all the gas and going back and forth, your price of your project would obviously go up. So yes, they will show up in their own vehicle most of the time. Sometimes they might have a company shirt on. We prefer that they do. Sometimes they don't. We try to get out and make sure that they are wearing them because it's great for marketing. But again, they're all good people. It doesn't make them less of a painter, and they're there to make that job good and make you happy. Excuse me. Number 3, what time of day do you start your projects? Well, again, it's going to vary. So on that first day of the job, it's usually that first day that, even for me, I like to get acclimated on what the project is. Me showing somebody, a work order on a piece of paper and some pictures doesn't really equate to how that job actually is. It would be easy for me if I did the work because I did the estimate, but I'm not doing the work. It's impossible for me to get out and paint. So they're going to come out there on the first day or the week before and do a walkthrough, preferably, and probably have a slow start, honestly. So they have to make sure they have all the paint, all their supplies, anything that they didn't catch on the work order will be taken care of on that first day, or they'll bring it with them on the second day. So they might not be able to start at the highest point of the building because they didn't know what they actually needed. So we just ask you have a little bit of patience. We can't catch everything all the time. We're not perfect. We don't claim to be perfect. We do the best that we can. Number 4 is, we do great. I think we do a great job. We've just won another award that I can't mention yet because it hasn't been announced. But sometimes we get bad reviews. What are we gonna do? I mean, everybody gets bad reviews. I go on YouTube a lot because I like to watch videos, and I'll pull up a video of it could be a puppy, or it could be just an innocent video of something really nice and sweet, and there'll be 1,000 people like it and 300 clicked thumbs down. And I'm like, well, why? How do you click thumbs down for a puppy? And there'll be some crazy comments in there, and I try to equate that to some of the customers we work for, because 8 out of 10 clients we work for are amazing people. I love to see them out at the grocery store or in the mall, or I chat back and forth with them sometimes. We talk about whatever. And then there's those others that will call you 100 times a day. They'll text you. If I don't answer, they'll go to Tanya. If Tanya doesn't answer, they'll go to the next guy. If he doesn't answer, they'll just keep going around and around and around until somebody gives them an answer that they need or feel that they deserve, instead of just waiting and being like a normal person in the world and having a little bit of patience for somebody to get back to you. We don't have a full staffed office. There's only 3 of us, and Kyle helps out as he can. We can only do so much, so we always get back to you as soon as we can. We definitely make it a priority to get back to people. It just might take 24 hours. Guys, there's very little painting emergencies. I can't think of any painting emergencies other than if we're doing something for a facility and there's an inspection coming, which sometimes we have. But if it's the inside of your home or the outside of your home, there's really nothing that can't wait till somebody gets back to you. Preferably talk to the painter that's on site. They're all qualified people who can help you out no matter what. Just because we don't get back to you right away doesn't mean it's not important. It just means we know that, God forbid unless somebody falls off a ladder or gets hurt, there's not a lot of painting emergencies. So chill out a little bit. Everything gets taken care of as we can. What's the last question I always get? Colors, selecting colors. That's the most awesome question that I get all the time, or Tanya gets all the time. How do we select our colors? So what happens is when I do an estimate, I don't really select colors. I'm not a color coordinator. I don't do color consults. And there's a reason for that, is because there are people who specialize in just doing that, and they're professionals. That's why we bring them in. So if you definitely need help with colors, we have a vast array of people who can help with that. Every store will help with that. We have another interior decorator that we use who can choose colors for you. Typically it's included in almost any job that we do for free. We like to have those color sheets back a couple weeks before the job starts, again, just so we're prepared to do the job. If we can't have the color sheets back, we just can't start your job. I hate to send people out, and it happens, where we go out to the job to start the job and we still have no colors, and it's just such a waste of time for everybody. We're wasting so much time and money, and it's costing somebody somewhere, whether that's going to be costing us or we have to charge you extra because we've wasted time and you didn't supply your color sheet. So we just made it an around the board policy that we will not start your job until we have the official color sheet. It can't be in an email. It can't be written on a piece of napkin or a piece of paper. We want it on our sheet with the color name, number, manufacturer, and the sheen. The sheen's important because across the board, whether you use Benjamin Moore, Sherwin-Williams, or somebody else, their sheens are all different. So you could have an eggshell from one and go to an eggshell at the other, and they call their eggshell, satin, or their satin is a low luster, or it goes back and forth. Flat could be a matte, there could be a washable flat, there could be a low sheen. So we do submit a little paper to you guys to kind of explain the different sheens, and that's that. So hopefully you learned something today. If not, fire back with some other questions. I'll try to answer them as I can, and I'll talk to you soon.